guys, welcome to First Time Mom Mistakes. My name is Kathy and I am here to talk about all the first time mom stuff that I wish I would have known before I ever started my first time mom journey. No fancy makeup, no fancy effects or anything, just keeping it real with you for 10 minutes every single day. So today I am here to talk about your hospital bag and hospital stay. So let's start with the stay. You are going to be admitted to the hospital either when your water breaks or when your contractions are close enough. Up until that point, you're going to have to labor at home, so keep that in mind. So once you get admitted, you'll basically end up in the labor room. And during that entire labor process, and also following that when you head to your recovery room, I would say one thing to keep in mind that I really think is important is you can question everything. So you'll have some experiences, or you might have, for example, like I did, where a nurse came in, my labor just my water broke and my labor was not going very fast, and a nurse came in and she just says, we're gonna start you on this medication. And you know, if I hadn't taken the class, the birthing class beforehand, I wouldn't have questioned it. I would have just agreed and said, okay, well, I guess that's my only choice. But actually, during the class, they made sure that we knew we could question everything. It is your choice. So I chose to hang on and kind of get my labor going on my own. It took a little longer, but I was able to do it through some exercises. So just keep in mind, even when somebody comes in, says something very matter of fact, does not mean you have to do it. Same thing with the recovery room. You'll have nurses coming and going. You know, there's a lot of hospital staff. They're trying to do some exams on your baby. You definitely have a choice to say, not right now. You know, can we please delay this exam? We're resting right now. You might even get a little tab to put in your door saying we're resting. You can even skip some exams. So it kind of depends on what it is. So definitely practice your rights, because you will be exhausted. My labor was 36 hours. It's generally very long when you're a first-time mom. So it was 36 hours, including 3 hours of pushing. And yes, I got an epidural, so I was able to get a little bit of sleep. I don't even know what it would have been like without that. I would have just probably been out, you know. But you can't sleep. Your baby has arrived, right? Yay, you know, they're here. It's such an exciting moment, but that also means you cannot not just focus on you. You cannot just take care of yourself. You have to start caring for the baby. So you feed the baby every 2.5 hours. Nurses are constantly coming in, showing you how to change the diaper, swaddle, all that stuff. If you have issues with breastfeeding, which I did, then you have that extra staff coming in trying to help you out with the breastfeeding. You have to start pumping in that scenario, so that adds even in more things that you need to do instead of sleeping. So just know that you will be exhausted. Try to basically give yourself as much space as you can. Your partner will also be exhausted because they're there through this whole thing, right? So they're not sleeping either, unless they're a very sound sleeper and you told them to just go to sleep. So another thing to keep in mind, if you're planning on having your partner, whoever your support partner is, drive you home, I would think twice. That was our plan. But my husband was so beyond exhausted. I don't even know on what fumes he was running when he was driving us home. And it was an hour drive from the hospital to our home. So here's our newborn baby. You know, obviously I want the best for her. And here's my husband, barely awake, you know, just downing Starbucks coffee trying to get us home. So if you can at all, have somebody else who did not participate in this entire process pick you up, take you home. That would be my best case scenario if I were to do it again. So now let's talk about your hospital bag. Your hospital bag, you can do a lot of research online. Obviously, there's so many articles. I did so much research, but to keep it really simple, what I would say is you need comfort goods. So that would mean during labor, whatever's going to comfort you. In our case, we had a speaker, and I just had some soothing music playing. Some people do aromatherapy. I tried that a little bit while I was going natural before I got the epidural. Pillows, just whatever is going to be comforting to you. You need your own clothes, so nightgowns, whatever's going to be comfortable after you deliver. You can stay in hospital gowns, but honestly, once I changed into my own clothes, I just felt so comforted to just finally be like in a normal nightgown. So definitely that. Also just some kind of your basic hotel stay stuff. So toothbrush, toothpaste, hairbrush, and I would even say a hair dryer. I used a hair dryer. You can take a shower in the recovery room, and it just feels so refreshing. Even if you do it, a day after labor, it's just so refreshing to do that, and then dry your hair because it is very cold in there. And just keep in mind your entire hospital stay is going to be from 3 to 5 days, depending on if it's natural labor or if it's a cesarean. So kind of plan for that as far as your supplies go. Baby stuff, you really should find out what your hospital offers. Ours was great. They had diapers, they had swaddles, they had hats, they had a lot of supplies, they had all the self-care stuff for mom. After labor, you do kind of need to recover. So they had all those supplies, but I've actually read more recently online some voices saying, hey, post-COVID, our hospital stopped offering supplies and we need to bring everything. So just definitely make sure, double check that they do still offer all that stuff. So that's probably the basics for the hospital bag. You do want to probably pack some snacks or food for your partner. They will feed you. It's so amazing. You don't know how amazing it is until you get home and nobody's feeding you. They feed you, and our hospital had a healthy menu and a regular menu, and the healthy menu was so good, but they will not feed your partners, so they either have to go get food or order takeout, which is what we did. During labor, you don't want them probably gone since you're going through the process and it's stressful, so they definitely do need some snacks. You are not going to be snacking, I would say, during labor. The hospital will offer you Jello or some frozen treats. I had some Jello initially, but I ended up throwing up a bunch of Jello. So you do need that sugar during labor for energy, but it's just going to be case by case basis whether you can keep it down or not. I certainly couldn't. Another thing that I was shocked by is it can actually be very painful to sit after you give birth to your baby. So I was so glad to have my memory foam pillow with me, which I had brought to sleep on, but I ended up sitting on it, because you're kind of half sitting up most of the time unless you're sleeping. So I was just sitting on my memory foam pillow, and I sat on it in the car on my way home. I can't imagine what I would have done if I had to sit like on a regular car seat. It was pretty painful, but again, it can vary depending on the person. I pushed for 3 hours, so that was a little bit of a strain on me. So but just be prepared for that as far as your hospital bag goes. And those are the basics. You do need the outfit for your baby to go home, and the car seat installed in the car. So that's about it. That wraps it up for the hospital stay and hospital bag. Hope you got some good tips from that. If you have any questions at all, leave that in the comments below. I'll be so happy to answer them for you, and I will see you next time.